All right, gentlemen, so let's see how good you are at spotting patterns. Right here, gents, I've got 5 different watches. Each of these watches are a different brand made by different manufacturers, but what is the similarity? What is the detail that unites them? Did you catch it? Do you have a guess? Now, some of you watch guys probably noticed all those watches are dive watches. That right there is an excellent observation, but not the one I'm looking for. No, the pattern I'm looking for is color. Did you notice how all of those watches have at least 3 colors in them? With some of the different colors, there's not much contrast, but other ones, yeah, that dial right there in yellow pops. Why does this matter? It matters because people notice a watch that stands out. And when people notice you're wearing a good looking stylish watch, well, they then associate the wearer as being stylish himself. Now, of course, a good looking low contrast watch can also draw attention, but to the average person, if you're looking to send off a signal that you are stylish, yet not overdressed, a watch with a little bit of flash is a good thing. The next tip to improving your casual style without being overdressed is to cheat on your barber. Because here's the deal, men, we are creatures of habit. So many of us have stuck with the same hairstyle for years. I encourage you to go see a stylist to talk with your barber about changing things up. And if that sounds too radical for you, try using a different product in your hair. Or if you don't normally use product in your hair, try it and see how your hair looks. If you don't like it, you can simply wash it out. Now, one of the reasons I do recommend you go see a stylist is that they're going to look at your face shape, they're going to look at your head, and they're going to look at your existing hair and say, you know what can I do with this? An experienced stylist has not only probably worked with thousands of people and their different hair types and, their different wants, but they also know what is trending right now, and they can maybe do things with your hair you never even thought of. Now, one thing you'll probably notice they'll do is they'll use a hair dryer to get your hair to actually have more volume. Now, a lot of you guys know this, but just in case, when you're styling your hair, if you use a hair dryer, you're going to be able to get the hair to relax, and you can shape it in a way that you can't normally if you're just brushing it wet and cold. Now, I know a lot of guys are, that's a lot of work, or I've tried using a hair dryer and they suck. Well, gentlemen, that's why I'm introducing you to today's sponsor, Laifen, because their hair dryer is friggin' amazing. Now, I've talked about Laifen and their Swift high-speed hair dryer before, but this thing is the best hair dryer I have ever used. So first up, what I love about it is it's fast. It's blow in the air faster than a normal hair dryer. Therefore, it doesn't have to use high heat. And how fast does Laifen Swift actually dry your hair? Guys, 5.5 times faster than an average hair dryer. And on top of that high speed, it's incredibly lightweight and super, super quiet. Seriously, at 6 o'clock in the morning, we have a sleeping baby in the house, and I have no problem with this hairdryer being on in the next room because you can barely hear it. And it's really simple to use, guys. You've got the on and off switch, you got 2 speeds, and you've got 3 different temperatures. And gents, you gotta love their guarantee. If you are not fully 100% satisfied, within 30 days, you can get your money back. And on top of that, gents, they got a 2-year warranty. So gents, to get the best deal on the web for your Laifen Swift high-speed hair dryer, use that link in the description of today's video. Take advantage of the deal I've got for you here. Go over. It is an excellent hair dryer. Definitely the best I've ever used. Now, speaking of head, let's talk about head wear, specifically stylish hats. Now, I get it. When it comes to stylish headwear, a lot of guys are shy about wearing a hat like this because they're not used to it, because they don't want to be that guy, look like they're trying too hard. But here's the deal. A classic Panama, this has been in stylish men's wardrobes for decades, and it's incredibly functional. Not only is it going to keep the sun out of your eyes, it's going to keep the sun off of your head and keep you cooler. But I get it. For a lot of guys, this is going to be too much. So instead, look for a hat that has a smaller crown and a thinner brim. I know for me, this hat fits the bill. It doesn't grab as much attention. It's not as pronounced. And I also like that it's collapsible. This is really nice because if I'm not happy, if I kind of feel out of place, if I'm not feeling, I can take the hat off and just pack it right in my bag. But the reality is the more you wear a hat, the more confidence you have with it, especially when it serves a purpose. The next tip to leveling up your style in a casual environment is to frame the face with a collar. To be specific, we're talking about the shirt collar. Now, in a casual environment, most men are going to default to a t-shirt. But if you want to step up your style just a bit, switch out that t-shirt with a casual polo. Maybe even bring in a casual button down. What we're looking for is to bring in a collar that's going to draw attention to the face and create more of a symmetrical look. There's just something about shirt collars that make a man look a little bit more dressed up, especially if it's a crisp, clean white collar. That being said, I'm not talking about wing collars here. I'm talking about more casual collar styles, such as a button down on this Oxford shirt. Now, if that's a no-go for you and you want to stick with your t-shirt, here are a few tips to dress up the t-shirt. First up, go with a t-shirt made from a better quality fabric. Usually this is going to be heavier, it's going to have a denser weave, and a really nice drape. T-shirts that are too lightweight can be see-through, are often mistaken as undershirts, and if you got pokies, yeah, we can all see what you got there. And I'm not picking on the pokies, but I'm trying to get you guys to look a little bit dressier. Another option is to change up the crew neck. So look to a V-neck. Again, it's going to be casual, but there's just something about a V-neck I think that makes that shirt, especially if it's well fitted and if you're in good shape, it looks really good on a man that has a solid build. And let's not forget about the Henley, basically a polo without the collar. Henleys, they just look a bit dressier because of the opening right there in the front. In addition, if you are a thinner guy, go for a long sleeve Henley and you can just simply roll up the sleeves a bit. It's actually a pretty good look for guys with skinny arms. The next tip to leveling up your style without being overdressed is to wear the right fragrance. Now, for most men, this is going to mean a versatile, crisp, clean fragrance that works in a wide variety of situations. Now, as we're entering the summer, I'm going to go ahead and show you a wide variety of lightweight fragrances, but in general, I do think that most men are best served by fragrances like this that are going to be versatile, that are going to have citrus, aromatic, floral accords with maybe a bit of musk or wood at the base. And if you really want to play it safe, just look for fragrances that are sports or are colognes. And the difference being, let's pull up a concentration guide. On the far end, we have perfumes and parfums. These are going to be 20 to 30% concentration, while EDTs, colognes, and Eau Fraiche, these are going to have 5% or less. Now, I'm not saying you can't wear a beast mode fragrance, but I would save these for when it gets cooler, intimate occasions, and for a man that's a bit more advanced when it comes to cologne. If you're just starting off, go with simple, clean, aromatic citrus and floral accords. Next up, let's talk about keeping your whites white. When you're wearing a white t-shirt, if you have white socks, if you have white shoes, make sure that they are white, not off-white, not yellow, not stained. This is a big no-no, and I see it a lot in casual clothing. Someone has something they've just been wearing the heck out of, and that's great. They've gotten miles out of it, but it looks worn, it looks old, it just doesn't look good. There's a lot of tips and tricks out there for bringing back the white in a t-shirt or a pair of shoes. All I'm saying is if it's supposed to be white and it's yellow, don't wear it. Next up, let's talk about sunglasses. You want to keep it classic. The three pairs that you want to know: aviators, wayfarers, and clubmasters. Now, if you want something that's going to suit most faces, look to aviators. They're going to come in a wide variety of shapes. The classic teardrop, you can go with square. And if you really want to change it up, have some fun, maybe go with a reflective lens. The only danger with wearing aviators is if you have a really large head or a really small head, you want to make sure you grab a pair that is actually suited to your face size. Now, wayfarers take a little bit more practice. They're going to grab a bit more attention, but they are a classic style that actually, if you look across the movies, they just simply, it's for the man that isn't afraid to draw a little bit of attention to himself. I personally love them, especially when you go just with a classic black or maybe even bring in a tortoise. That being said, personally, my go-to sunglasses are Clubmasters. They have a lot of attitude like Wayfarers, but I rarely see other men wear them, and that's why I love them. They're just unique. They've got a great look and a classic overall. I think they also frame and work with my face shape. Which, by the way, when it comes to finding the right sunglasses for your face shape, how to get your shoes to be more white, I've got additional videos here at Real Men Real Style I will link to down in the description of today's video. Check out the channel. We've got tons of great information. And if you're enjoying this video today, do me a favor and smash the like button. It lets the YouTube gods know that, hey, this video is worth watching. Now, this next tip's a bit more advanced, but I know so many of you guys could use this, and that is to have fun with the seasons. Every season has a few pieces of clothing that just work with it. We're going into summer, and guys, linens, incredibly breathable. It doesn't have to be 100% linen. You can get blends. They're going to have a bit of cotton or maybe a synthetic that are going to maintain their shape, not be as wrinkly. Maybe seersucker. Again, so many different options when we go into fall. Looking at flannels. Talked about summer hats, but they're also going to be fall and winter hats. I've mentioned them like 100 times. Gray flannel trousers. Yes, a pair of gray flannel trousers with maybe a nice polo that's made from a worsted wool. All of a sudden, you've just got this really elegant, nice look that is going to still be casual, but going to have you looking really sharp. And building off that seasonality, let's talk about footwear. So we're going into summer, guys. Espadrilles, just really simple, clean, stylish. I'm not going to say the most stylish. I also love a summer loafer that has a perforated leather. This is going to have holes right in it. And as you can imagine, it is going to be much cooler than a regular style loafer. And of course, we can't forget boots. Now, for a lot of you guys during the summer, maybe not practical, but for those of you guys that live in an area in which it's a bit cooler, when it gets cooler in your area, boots like this, yeah, you got to be a rock star to pull them off, or got to have a lot of confidence. But there are also tons of practical options out there. Boots, got to love them. They make it taller, more attractive, and yeah, the ladies love them. That being said, if I had to choose one pair of shoes that are versatile, for season wear, that are going to level up a man's style and not have him be overdressed, guys, check out a classic pair of brogues. Whether they're quarter, wingtip, full brogues, guys, you got options and they always look amazing. Whether you dress them up with a casual suit or dress them down with jeans. And speaking of jeans, they're overused. Come on, guys, bring in something fun, a pair of chinos. And you can go with a classic tan pair, you know, the khaki version, or you can bring in a dark, you can bring in a dark green, you can bring in a red. So many options, colors, different fits. I do like it when they fit well, so don't be afraid to take them to a tailor. But even better than that, actually don't buy anything unless it fits you well. And that takes us to the next tip. The easiest way to step up your style, and I didn't start it with this because I've said it so many times, make sure your clothing fits you. When it comes to the style pyramid, guys, fit is king. Seriously, that's why I put it at the top of the style pyramid. And my motto is know the name of your tailor. One of the most inexpensive ways to step up your style is to take your clothing that you already love and just make sure it fits you properly. A good tailor, when they hem those trousers, when they slim them up, when they dart the back of that shirt, all of a sudden that cheap shirt is all of a sudden going to look amazing because it actually fits you and shows off that body that you spend a lot of time in the gym working on. Now, really quick, because some of you guys have asked, what are my thoughts on trends? So I'm always saying be very careful of the whimsical winds of fashion because it changes and you may spend a lot of money on something that you think is in fashion, looks good, everyone's wearing it, and then within 6 months, it's gone. I am a big fan of classic, timeless style pieces that you can invest in. Were in style 10 years ago and will continue to be in style, or even better, we're in style 50 years ago and have continued to be a classic piece. And I think that's where most men would best be served, even in their casual wardrobe without dressing up. You can develop a staple of classic pieces that you can go to and you can spend a bit more money on. That being said, sometimes the items trending are classic in design, so you may be able to find a great deal. And that's where I think you can leverage a trend, is whenever they're making a lot of this, you can maybe get it on sale, get it adjusted to fit you. Just remember, gents, be mindful of trends, but don't be led by them. Now, earlier in the video, I talked about the different products that you can use in your hair and how they can change the style and the overall look. If you're interested in discovering about all the different hair products and how they work, how you can get different styles, guys, check out this video right here. I break it out really simply so that you can understand what product you want to have for your hair to be able to change up your style, to be able to, be better looking, but not be overdressed. Boom, I got you covered. You're going to love this video right here.